taking notes. And I didn't try to recreate anything. I went, and for 17 years, I did it. And then my mentor said, hey, now you have to go out because it worked so well for you. All right, so I just want to lay that. So this isn't, well, Neil says this stuff works. No, I'm just evidence and proof that it does. All right, so megaphone to the marketplace. We're going to market properties to the world and get them sold. Once we start speaking that language, we're speaking their language. Any questions, comments, or concerns so far? All right, seeing none, we are going to continue. Now, we talk about affluent. Here's what affluent is. Having an abundance of wealth, property, or other material goods, prosperous, and the book gave the word rich as a definition. So we like the word affluent. It's a distant second to which word? Successful. You all get a gold star. Here's what I also want to remind you all. The definition of luxury can and does vary greatly depending upon location. Do we have anyone here from Texas? No? Anyone have any family in Texas? Anyone been to Texas? Do you all believe, would you agree that successful in Texas looks different than successful in New York? The more tires I have on my truck, the blacker the smoke, the bigger the hat, right? In Texas, it means something different than in New York. So this idea of sports car versus pickup truck, dually, right? And so this is where I want us to start understanding these preconceived ideas, these notions that we have. Now, here's what we don't see. We don't see $1 million list in San Antonio, right? We don't see it. But guess what I know? I know there's a lot of wealth in San Antonio. Are we starting to see how maybe some things that we have up here, we might need to tweak, change, maybe throw that in the trash or kill it, right? If you're very, very violent, like my friend in the front. All right. For this course, the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, we're going to use the same definition that they do when we talk about real estate. The top 10% of residential sales over the past 12 months. So that's the general accepted for luxury. So your luxury market or price point might be different from mine in Miami. In what's luxury in Miami is mediocre in New York, right? So our median price point for luxury is like $775,000. In New York, studio, rental, right? Facing a parking garage. So top 10% of residential sales in the past 12 months, but never below 500,000. Never below 500,000. So in Florala, Alabama, lakefront home that my wife and we want to purchase, we're probably looking high fours, almost five. Florala does not have a luxury market based on the Institute's definition. Now here's what I'm going to tell you all. If you sell, let's say your luxury band is $775. Does your bank account or your significant other or your kids or your debtors, do they care whether you sell $774 or $775? No, they don't, as long as you sell it and you put the money and you make the payments. So this is, the definition is important to know, but don't be a luxury niche snob, okay? We all know those. Don't be one of those people. That'd be the fastest way to get out of the industry. All right. Let me see. This photo right here. I have the definition of luxury on the screen for everyone except for our friends on the right. You probably can see it good. You all can see what it says, right? The definition of luxury. Can you all see it? Yes or yes? Yes. There's a problem. You like that, right? So here's what I want you all to do. I want you all to, in your luxury business, I want you to control the options that your client has. Let me jump right there. How many of you operate as single agents? Now, if you don't want to raise your hand, you don't have to. Hands down. How many of you operate as transaction brokers? Hands down. In the luxury niche, what I'm going to tell you all, you need to talk to your broker. Everyone say, talk to my broker. See, that wasn't everybody. Say, talk to my broker. Okay, so here's what I need you all to do. I need you to speak to your broker before you act on what I'm going to say, all right? The affluent clientele, the luxury niche, successful individuals, they expect client level single agent service. Okay? They expect that. Now, here's what I know some of you are saying. Well, I'll be a transaction broker and I'll still give them single agent service. No, you won't. Not unless you want to go see somebody that I don't want to see. And I'm on a lot of professional standards boards across the state. Okay, understand. The affluent clientele, they're going to expect single agent exclusive service. If you do not have them sign an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement as a single agent, you cannot, and do not provide them single agent exclusive service. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, see me on a break, at lunch, or talk to your team leader, office manager, or broker. All right, are we okay with that? So you're going to hear me say client a lot, because I only work on a single agent exclusive basis. If you do not, when I say client, I need you to go ahead right now. If you're a transaction broker, either start thinking client and how you're going to transition, or I need you to turn your transaction broker ears on. So when I say client, I need you to hear customer. All right? Very important, because everything we're going to look, the expectation is I need to have someone who's going to tell me every bit of valuable information that I have. I need that full disclosure. If you're a transaction broker, do we know we don't have full disclosure? We're aware of that, right? Okay, that's the number one thing that your affluent clientele is going to want from you. What do you know? Who do you know? How can I win? All right, we're good so far. All right, so look in here. We see definition of luxury. It says luxury, but there's a disconnect from what it says and what it is. If you look on your screen, you're going to see, do you all see how pixelated the L is at the bottom, or just the letters? This is not a luxurious photo. So there is something, and so I intentionally chose this photo because you can say one thing, and if you aren't the real thing, they're gonna sniff it out. So here's what I need. This is one of the earliest lessons that I learned. I need you to have, anyone here ever been audited, right? It's no, oh no, I'm not saying about the IRS. I'm just saying, like, they're like, those are the big boys. I'm just saying in general, sheesh. I need you all to do an authenticity audit. That might be the hardest part of where we're going. So authenticity means that you are who you say you are. So you could be a general practitioner looking to get into the luxury market, but you can't say you're something you're not and believe the lie. Because here's what I know. I know that we are in a room full of fantastic salespeople. You've probably sold yourself on a lie so well that you actually believe it now, right? And so some of it might be positive, some of it might be negative. But I want you to do an authenticity audit because I want you to be the real thing. All right, and we're going to talk about that here in a moment. Now, we're going to go for 3 more minutes, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to really get rolling. Okay, everyone okay with that? All right, so here's the next thing I want you to do. I want you to tell your audience, I want you to tell your clientele what you're going to do, and then I want you to get their permission to do it. Did it just work? I told you what we're going to do, then I asked for your permission. And what did you all say? Yes. If you tell successful individuals what's going to happen next, guess what they're going to do? They're going to say, okay, as human beings, me nodding my head right now, this is not by accident. If I tell you what we're going to do, if I say yes or yes, if I control the narrative, if I control the story, if I can tell people what I want from them, they're more than likely inclined to obey. All right? Many of us are doing the same things right now. So that doesn't mean I want you guys to start just being contrarians and start doing everything opposite of what I say. All right? So make sure that you tell your people what you want them to do, and then you're going to ask for their permission. Now they have buy-in, and they're going to say, oh, well, it was our idea. He delivered on what I said was okay for him or her to deliver on. If I tell someone, hey, I'm going to get this professional opinion of value put together, and then we'll have our marketing consultation on Friday between 1 and 3. Are you okay with that? They're either going to say yes, or they're going to give me another time. They're not going to say no. right? So this is where I'm telling them what I want my desired outcome to be. Here's what I need you all to know. I need you to know what your desired outcome is. Do you know what your desired outcome is for every interaction with every individual that's either success? And now we're talking in the luxury niche, but it could be for anyone. When you meet a successful individual, do you know what you want them to do? If not, don't meet them. If not, don't leave your house. And the reason I say that is because you're probably today going to bump into a successful individual. And the worst thing that can happen to us is for us to have an opportunity that we're ill prepared for. Because once we fumble that first one, what happens to the next one? That self-esteem, that confidence goes way down. Anyone ever had that happen to them? I know I'm guilty of it, right? All right, so here's what we're going to do since you all gave me permission. We are now going to take a break, right?